What's up, everyone? I'm Christina,
And I'm Andrea from Lacuna Coil.
and keep on watching The Roman Show.
This is The Roman Show.
Rodolfo Roman of The Roman Show with the singers of Lacuna Coil, Christine and Pharaoh. Thanks so very much for joining us here in Florida. I remember watching you guys. I think, you might remind me here, I think it was Ozfest. It might have been a Mayhem tour here in Florida. So you guys have definitely visited several times out here. What is it about coming to Florida and seeing performing in the Florida heat?
Well, it's actually pretty cool. As every festival, I mean, we enjoy the huge amount of people, the great level of energy. It's really, really funny. And then we get to see other bands of friends, so it's always really cool.
And how do you prepare for such weather? It's so hot.
I mean, there's not much you can do. You just pour some water in your head and just try to stay in the bus as long as you can, stay out of the sun, and then stay in the shade as much as you can. But this is not really a secret. You just go for it.
Hope for the best. All right, let's talk about the new album. Just came out this year, Broken Crown Halo. Absolutely good stuff. Heard of the entire thing, really awesome. A little change from some of the other albums that you had in sound. But what is it that people could tell us that's a little different from the other bands? Any challenges that you met?
Well, I think we're a very peculiar band because we are Europeans, but we are in the States a lot. So our sound, it's an interesting combination in between the European sound, the American sound, with a lot of like other influences from a different type of music. So we incorporate everything in our music, and then we have two vocalists. Like we use our voices as two instruments that we can freely add to every song, not using the girl as the beauty and the guy as the beast, but we're really combined. Like we literally melt with the music. And this album is probably our darkest one, heavier than the previous one. We like it a lot, and I'm really happy that our fans are loving it.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely see by the whole heavier aspect that you said. Now, nothing stands in our way. The single. Is this a testament about how long you guys stayed? It's amazing, man. You guys are going close to 20 years.
It's the history of us, but also the history with our fans. We have such a loyal fan base that they're really following the album since they discovered the band. They start following every album, and they're still there. And we have a lot of kids that just discovered the band recently, and their favorite album is like the last one, as well as people following us since the late 90s when we really started in Europe. So it's great, it's sort of a statement to say, okay, we're still here, we still have something to say, and we still have people that actually listen to what we say. So that's a great statement for us.
And what's the key to success to be together close to 20 years? Is there a recipe for that for a band?
Maybe the fact that we are real friends in real life. We're not a band put together by a label for like a business thing. We really love what we do, we respect each other. We know that when you live with other people, because basically, especially when you're touring, you're 24 hours a day together, you just have to leave them space, the other people space when they need to, so we know bad and good points of each one of us.
Speaking of which, you had two, your guitarist and your drummer, they're just retired. How have you guys adjusted to that?
I mean, we knew since a few months now because we took the decision after the last European tour we did in November, but we couldn't announce it earlier than as we did. So we basically knew. I mean, we're still good friends, and they just wanted to change their life. They're moving somewhere else, getting kids, do a more of a regular lifestyle. They were sick of all the touring, all that lifestyle especially. So it was something, there's nothing we can say after 15 years together, somebody can get tired of this lifestyle, So if you're not really into it, it's better to change your life. And then now there's a way stronger motivation of the people that actually is in the band, because everybody really wants to be here,
Over the years, we've seen more and more of electronic music and mixing it in with rock. What is it about it? And do we see this more of rock in the future, more of the electronic dance music, that mixture?
To be honest, we always incorporated like electronic music because we always used like keyboards and especially in the arrangements. But we just like to evolve and to add some more stuff, and plus we really like soundtracks in general. We're really inspired by soundtracks, and this album is really cinematic. So we like to add a little bit something with like electronic sounds.
Talking about electronic dance music, do you guys have any favorite DJs, knowing that there's a lot of DJs coming from Europe?
I mean, maybe because we have so much dance music in Italy that I don't want to say we hate it, but we have an overload of it, even on the radio, it's very, very popular. So it's a little too much. I really like the beginning of electronic music, like the dance music phenomenon in the 90s. I really like that evolution. And then every now and then we got some bands that we like what's called the Italian guys with the masks. No, there's a Crookers is one, and then there's the other guys that you always listen to.
Aspetta, cos'è? 12 Foot Ninja? No. Hold them. Bloody Beetroots.
Italian band. They're sort of like the Prodigy kind of electronic music, a bit heavy.
Prodigy, yeah, they're a cool band. Now, last question in Europe, Brock, what can you tell us about the future of European metal? And there's a lot of bands coming. Because of the internet, we've had the ability to listen to some of these bands here in the States. So what can you tell us a little bit about it?
It depends. It depends because bands in Europe are so diverse. There are so many subgenres in metal. So there is the side of fans that are absolutely loving the new stuff coming out, but there is also a very, very strong part of fans that are very into the classic stuff. So they will keep on listening, like bands that have been out forever that are still playing a traditional kind of heavy metal. And while here, for example, in America, people seems to be more modern, more open-minded. So in Europe, there is always this distinction. Sorry, but I think it's cool. I mean, rock and metal will never die because of that, because there will always be a new generation coming, but also the old generation keeping it up for all of them.
Thank God for that. The rock is not dead. No, thanks to you guys. Chris, thank you so very much for here on The Roman Show. Thank you so very much. And thank you again for coming back here to Florida. Thank you.
This is The Roman Show.